I tend to fall asleep, or am I trying to wake up? In any way, I'm traveling back and forth, constantly. The universe is a manifestation of our collective consciousness. Reduce your feelings down to love and fear, then make the obvious choice. I want to break free of the shackles society unwillingly threaded me to my life. Science has proven that we create our own reality. Everything is also nothing. What is humans' worst trait? Is it fear or laziness? Considering we exist mostly out of water, which tends to choose its path leading to the least of resistance, but given time, can eventually split a mountain in half. The fastest growing tree is by far not necessarily going to be the longest. Evolution is exponentially telescoping towards the point it will manifest itself within the time span of a single moment. Waste is an illusion created by the fear of not having enough. We consume as much as possible, and we even consider that to be civilized. It is a goal perceived by the many. Monkey see, monkey do. Well, this monkey invents the wheel again, for himself. It may seem a noble endeavor, pursuing truth, and dive deep within, if the driving force behind this relentless search is not one of pure despair. How does one stray away from the crowd? How does one get so alienated from his fellow beings that he starts to doubt himself? Is it because he is dreaming away from the others? Or could he also be waking up from them? He knows that he is not alone. It has been proven to him. So many signs have been shown to him. Or could it be a figment of his imagination? It could be a chemical imbalance, which results in an overabundance of neuron cells, over-explaining these signs in an attempt to discover patterns in the chaos that is his sensory input. Does he see layers that are hidden, or simply not there? Could he be able to overestimate small details, making them bigger? He could even be a victim of narrow-mindedness. He has been told he sees only that what he wants to see. But how different does that make him from the others? Could the same not be said for them? What is going on? What do you see when you smell with your ears? I know only for sure that you and I both have the same idea about what is the essence of the color blue. But what I perceive as blue could look like green to you. Every sentient being transmits its own belief system into this great big canvas called space-time, making the great big everything, an accumulation of our shared convictions. Nobody questions a chair for being really a chair. The space between the table and the chair seems empty, but the emptiness we believe to see is merely a variation in the density of those subatomic particles. Science even has shown us the point of knowing that such a particle is matter and radiation at the same time. It is superpositioned and slams right into a single form. The moment we observe it, you could therefore also say that matter both is and isn't, as well as radiation. A single particle is coexisting simultaneously as its multiple form or state. The glass really is as much half full as it is half empty. It now turns out that one truth we are looking for is multiple. We cannot disprove the fact we are the co-creators of our reality, and we must not be lured away by the fear of the unknown, the insecure. This, however, contradicts with a major part of a former established scientific facts in elementary physics. I put established in between brackets because I personally think it is rather arrogant to overrate the insignificant thresholds we have surpassed in the science, by convicting them as being the one and only. Yeah, sure folks, we all have the reasons to be more right than people who thought the earth was flat. We excel in open-mindedness in comparison with the past. It's obvious we have learned from all our bloodshed. People with low self-esteem tend to favor certainty above happiness, hence keeping stuck in a downward spiral, which only provides them with a false feeling of security, and on top of that mistake it for happiness. Happiness is not a cosmic lottery, it is a choice. But that means that feeling unhappy is a choice as well. This being a conclusion that seems to touch some nerves in a lot of sad, scared, unhappy and or unsatisfied human beings. They go on victimizing their own situation and discarding any form of blame away from themselves. Don't they realize the neglect of every sense of responsibility they have towards themselves, and because of that automatically for others around you? Why does one start to wonder, looking back into human history, do we see an endless struggle for increasingly meaningless desirables as land, money, power, pride? How more often have to force the evil genius their power of indoctrination upon the instinctive desire for freedom? Since I am a firm believer in the function of free will and personally found out that for me the feeling of compassion is much lighter to carry than one of resentment or frustration, when one is in a state of constant departure while always arriving at the same time, one must travel light. Those who seek to control the masses and those who want to turn us into slaves are powerful, but they are only also with a few. They cannot divide and conquer us anymore. You are in control of your own life. You always have a choice. I want to return to you a reason to be here.